What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome to the very first episode of How to Tech. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to install or update your Nvidia GPU driver. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is open a new window and go to Nvidia drivers. And I will put a link to this in the description, of course. And you're just going to find your GPU. How do you find your GPU, you might ask? If you go to your task manager, head over to performance, and then go to GPU 0, you will see the GPU that your computer has installed. If it's not there, you can use an application like GPU Z, and that will tell you the exact model of your GPU as well. So, back to the video itself, how do you install the drivers? Well, you saw that I have a 4070 Ti, so you're just going to choose the type of card you have. If it's a GeForce card, which is most people's card, or an RTX Quadro, we're going to choose GeForce. And then from GeForce, we're going to choose GeForce RTX 40 series. You're going to search for your version. So if you have like a 1060, then you would go to the GeForce 10 series, and you'll see that there's a 1060 right here. So I'm going to go to the GeForce 40 series and choose the 4070 Ti. Then you're going to choose the operating system that you're running. If you're on Windows 10, use Windows 10. If you're on 11 or Linux or FreeBSD, there are drivers as well available. So I'm going to choose Windows 11. Now, which one of these drivers are you going to use? Most people are going to use the Game Ready driver. This is updated very, very often and is aimed at giving you the best possible performance in games. The Studio driver is made for developers who work in 3D and animation applications, who don't necessarily need the latest and greatest updates before they've been fully tested, and it runs a bit more stable and you'll have less crashes. But generally, if you're playing games on the computer, you're going to use the Game Ready driver. And then of course you can choose your language, hit search, and you'll be given the download. Let's go ahead and click on download here, and we'll hit download again. And you'll see that it's downloading in the top right corner. Once it finishes, I'll go ahead and click on that and show you the rest of the process. Alright, so it finished downloading. We're going to go ahead and click on that file and choose run. Hit yes if you get a user account control request. And then go ahead and click OK to extract it into a folder. And we do have a version of the driver already installed, but we're going to go ahead and go through this anyway. So if you see an issue about, oh, this driver is already installed, don't worry. If you're updating your driver, that won't show up. All right, so now we're at the installer itself. So we're just going to go ahead and click on agree and continue. And the two options that are here are essentially if you want the Nvidia graphics driver alone, or if you also want the GeForce Experience. I generally recommend adding the GeForce Experience because that gives you a way to update the drivers right inside the app, which is super useful. But we're going to go ahead and choose that, Nvidia graphics driver and GeForce Experience, and click agree and continue. And then if we go to custom, we have a few more options. Generally, I recommend using Express because that will keep all of your user settings. But if you're having issues, you can go ahead and use custom instead. So I'm going to go through custom just to show you what options are available. And it will essentially, we'll use the same ones as Express. But we'll hit next. And you'll see that we have the graphics driver update, the HD audio driver update, the Nvidia GeForce Experience, and the PhysX system software. We can also choose to perform a clean installation. Now, this isn't a clean installation of your PC. You're not going to lose any files, but this is going to delete anything related to Nvidia. So all of your configurations, your game profiles, your settings, those are likely going to be gone. However, if you're having issues with your driver and you can't update it, you can't install it, it's not detecting, whatever it happens to be, performing a clean installation can be a great way to fix those issues. So let's go ahead and hit next. And the install will continue. Your screen might flash a bit. It might even turn black for a while and then pop back on. Just let it complete. I wouldn't try and turn off the computer or anything in the meantime. It just needs time to actually reset the graphics driver. And what does the graphics driver do? It controls your screen. So for a while, it's going to have to be off while it restarts. So totally normal. Once this is done, your games and applications should be running at the appropriate performance with all the newest features in that driver. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording real quick while this installs because it's probably going to stop OBS. So I'm going to pause, and then once this is done, I'll continue. All right, and we're all set. It looks like the drivers have been installed, except for the PhysX, which says a newer version or the same version was already installed. So we did get some updates here. Pretty cool to see. Now we can go ahead and click close and choose to either create a shortcut or launch the GeForce experience after. I'm going to leave those checked and hit close. And there is the GeForce experience along with basically everything we need to know about what's in this driver, including 122 new game settings and a bunch of bug fixes, which is pretty cool. But if you've been behind a few versions, then there's likely a lot more in between that you've missed as well. So always good to keep your drivers up to date. Thank you so much for watching How To Tech. And again, my name is Mike the Tech, and I hope you have a good one. Peace.